Well, Danny, back at the Leasing.com Stadium for a home league game. First one in almost a month now. Couldn't have gone any better, really, could it?
No, it couldn't in the end. Obviously, the first half, for those who were here and watched the game, you know, we set up how we normally set up. I expected Kidsgrove to come and set up a completely different way from what I've seen and watched the highlights of previous games. I was expecting something different, but it didn't surprise me. They set up with a back five. And then clogged the midfield up and had the two up top, which, you know, it caught us out a few times in that first half, just with the way we like to play, and we are expansive at times. It's just recognising it on the pitch, how the opposition are setting up and what they're looking to do, really, so we can exploit the space wherever it is and then not be susceptible to counter-attacks, or if we lose it on the transitions, then, you know, we're not too open. So it's just recognising that during that first period, really.
For one of the first times this season, you had virtually a fully fit squad to choose from. With all the great players and the talent in that squad, how difficult was it to pick your starting 11 tonight?
Yeah, it wasn't easy at all. I mean, obviously, we've got an abundance of talent throughout the squad, and we need the squad. We really do. We proved that last season. We needed a squad to win the league, so we need that this season. Can't go into it with 12, 13 players and looking to, you know, get through, because you won't at all. So that's why the squad has been built. And it's not going to be easy to keep players happy, because they all want to play, which is, you know, you get that. That is what players want to do. I'd be in the same boat, and I'd want to play every minute of every game. But, you know, we've got to look at each game separately, pick teams based on what we think, you know, is going to get us the 3 points at the end of the day. And some players won't be happy. That's just football.
Would you say that's one of your biggest challenges at the minute, in terms of keeping very, very good players happy when they aren't necessarily playing?
Yeah, it's a challenge in general, really. You know, we had that last season, and there was players that weren't happy, and ultimately they wanted to go and play somewhere else, which is fine. You know, there's nothing we can do about that. All I can be is as honest as I can with each and every player, in respect to, they get a fair chance. If someone's not playing well, we need someone pushing them, ready to take the shirt. And then if they do get their chances, it's about them keeping the shirt. So, you know, in football terms, it's pretty straightforward, really. You do need that squad to keep the quality of the football really, really high. You need players pushing you in training. Once you've got that, there's nothing better, really, because if you know you're not on it in training, and then you're going into games and you're not quite at it, there's someone waiting in the wings to take your spot. So ultimately, it just breeds success. It really does.
It was a really feisty first half, wasn't it? Do you think that worked for us or against us?
Probably a little bit against us first half. We were a little bit naive in terms of they were, you know, they were very aggressive, getting around the referee. They were putting some strong tackles in, and, you know, we said at half time that's what we need to do. You know, don't be letting one person go up to the referee. Get a few around him, you know, and you know, back your teammates up. You know, if someone has a tough tackle and they go down, stay down. You know, don't jump back up too quickly, which is exactly what they were doing, and they were just trying to disrupt our game and the flow of the game, which I get, really, because teams are going to do that. We've had it this season, we'll get it, you know, virtually every game, no doubt. We just got to get on with it, and, you know, we've got to do the same to them.
We were crying out for a moment of inspiration, weren't we? And by head, we got it.
Certainly did. I mean, we've got that in abundance in the squad. You know, we've got some, you know, real game changers that can pull things out of nothing, and there will be games this season where, you know, it's nip and tuck, you know, and something like that will be the difference between us winning and losing. But it got us up and running, you know, and I don't think we really look back after that.
To what extent do you think that the half-time interval changed the dynamics of the game, because we seemed a different side after it?
Yeah, like I say, it's just about problem solving on the pitch, and then you get to half-time, we're winning, which is fantastic, but we just really needed to get into the boys, because, you know, it was a little bit lacklustre at times, you know, a little bit, you know, off the pace in terms of second balls. They just seem to be a little bit on the front foot more than us at times. Whether that was because, you know, we were overplaying, I don't know, I'd have to watch it back, but I think it's just problem solving. You know, where's the space? How can we affect them more than them affecting us? And it can be from an individual sacrificing their game to help the teammate get on the ball and then get us up the pitch and start playing in the final third, which, you know, we just reiterated it at half time, gave them some ideas, and they went out on the front foot, and, you know, we didn't look back, really, did we?
3 goals in 15 minutes, almost mirrored Saturday in some respects. To what extent did that show how well we can play?
Oh, 100%, yeah. We know how we can play, and we know that teams are going to come up against us, and they're going to shut up shop, and they're not going to want to, invite us on too much. They're going to make the middle of the pitch really, really congested, have a back five, for instance, or a narrow back four, and defend deep and look to counter-attack and just force us into making errors and forcing us into positions we don't want to be in. So it's just about us, being patient, moving the ball quickly, trying to recognise where the space is and how we can exploit their weaknesses. Sometimes it's not easy, but you just got to stick at it, keep doing it. Don't get bored of moving the ball to touch and move them about.
You replaced Tom Clare with Nicky Maynard with about 20 minutes left to go. Tell us the rationale behind the move, because in addition to his goal, Tom physically battled with everything he had tonight.
Yeah, he did. He's worked his absolute socks off. He really has, and he's almost like a bit of a battering ram. He does a lot of hard graft that people don't really see. They don't see it. They might see him, the ball's coming up to him and it might bounce off him, for instance, but he's knocking the centre backs around and he's giving them a real tough time. So when the likes of Nicky Maynard comes on, for instance, those centre backs are absolutely shot to bits. So Nicky's able to then pull them about all over the place with his movement, because it's excellent, and then that just makes openings even more obvious for the wide men to put it into the spaces, because their centre backs are so tired because of the work rate that Tom's put in. He's absolutely battered them. Just
following on from that, Nicky could have had a couple of goals himself, couldn't he?
Yeah, he could have. Yeah, just the movement is first class. We know he brings that, and then it's just about the service really, and we can get into some dangerous areas and put some low balls in. And like I say, yeah, he could have had a couple of goals, to be fair.
Now, if there was one man to score our 150th goal as Macclesfield FC, it was always going to be Neil Danns, wasn't it?
We've got goals throughout the squad, haven't we? We really have, and it's so valuable. You're not relying on a striker or a couple of strikers or a couple of wide men to be chipping in with goals. We've got midfielders who are scoring goals, defenders are scoring goals now from set plays, which is so valuable. It really is. It just helps no end, because then there's no pressure on any individual or a couple of players to be scoring goals, and if they're having an off day, sometimes you'd be struggling. But we haven't got that in the squad, and Dan's he's with us last season. We know what he brings going forward. He's got a real eye for goal, and he's full credit to him for doing what he's doing at the age he is. He's so fit.
Talking about goals, 15 in the last 3 games now. You must be incredibly happy with that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like we say before every game, you offer me 1-0, I'll take it, without a shadow of a doubt. But then we want a performance to go with it, and I think we've got that in the last few games, because the goals that we're scoring means we're doing something right, and the players are taking on board the stuff we're working on in training, which is so pleasing, because you work on certain patterns, certain movements, and it's like for the goal, I think it was Tom's goal, Dan's ball for him, we work on those movements quite a lot, so to see it actually come off is really pleasing.
But you can't wait for Saturday now.
No, that's it. We just want each game to come as quickly as possible, keep our standards as high as they are, and we'll be looking to get 3 points.
Thanks, Danny.
Thank you.